I got a tweet here from Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I think you need to clarify you're talking about baked cinnamon rolls and not the Pillsbury canister of cinnamon rolls chucked at you. I don't want the canister chucked at me.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't want the canister, but I am interested in the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls inside of the canister. I have talked about those very cinnamon rolls on the show today, and I believe that they are good.
Yeah, I agree. We make them virtually every weekend at Casa de Odson.
Nice. Did you have a couple before you went to the park over the weekend?
Yeah, I think I did.
Nice.
Actually. Didn't want to be late though.
No, cannot be late to the park.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Didn't know that was a thing until this weekend.
Quick story, Josh, out of Canada.
Oh,
this is about this is a baseball game between the Chatham Kent Barnstormers and another team.
The Royals
in a league that I have no idea what's going on here in this Canadian baseball league. But the story here is that the public address announcer, Jeff Hopman,
heard they recently added more Hopman.
He was ejected.
Tossed.
Why would a public address announcer get ejected from a baseball game?
Hot mic issue?
Yeah. Did he say the F word?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say the F word. If that's the case, he probably wouldn't be around long enough to get actually ejected from the baseball game. He'd probably just get fired, ejected from his job by the people who run the deal. But no, it was not a crime like that. His crime, just like he had done in the previous 3 home games, used a sound clip of someone saying, bruh, after a questionable ball strike call at home plate. The umpire turned around and ejected public address announcer Jeff Hopman for playing the sound clip, bruh.
Bruh. What are we doing?
Bruh. We play bruh at Werner Park all the time, by the way, just for the record.
You know, people play 3 blind mice.
No, people do not. Lambert Bartek did that once and got tossed back in, I don't know, probably the 1700s or something like that. That's the famous one with Lambert Bartek. May he rest in peace.
R.I.P.
But yes, he did play 3 blind mice. He was tossed. Was he rightfully tossed? Up for debate.
I don't think it is.
Okay. Embrace debate, Josh. He says it's not a good thing that
soft ass umpires.
Mascots have been tossed before.
Yes.
This is the official rule of baseball, Rule 8-01D.
You're serious.
Grants umpires the discretion to eject any participant for objecting to decisions or for unsportsmanlike conduct or language. Is the public address announcer a participant in the game? Can be up for debate. Is he an important person? Maybe not so much in baseball.
Mm-hmm. I always think it's a funny bit when the ump, like, hey, you're in between innings, the ump walks up to the mascot and they get in each other's face. And the ump jokingly tosses the mascot. I always think that's a funny bit.
Me too.
But when they do
that happened with Tommy Lasorda, right? So Tommy Lasorda wanted the Expos mascot to get tossed out of the game. It's actually okay. So in the early 1990s, ump Bob Davison once tossed Youppi, the Expos mascot, in a game against the Dodgers because Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda didn't want Youppi to stand on top of the Dodger dugout. At Tommy Lasorda's request, they tossed Youppi out of the game.
Youppi.
I don't need to be tossing I don't need to be tossing public address announcers. We don't need to start down that road. That's for sure. And I don't mind playing the sound clip of bruh. It's what all your fans are thinking.
Uh-huh.
Bruh.
I mean, you got to have a little thicker skin. I mean, there's probably people in the crowd yelling things at you.
Ryan YouTube comments into the show.
Hi, Ryan.
Says that umpire is actually Angel Hernandez's son. Yeah. We'll have some time to talk about Angel. Maybe now is the time.
I don't know.
We just go right
We
into
are, we are talking about umpires.
Yeah, maybe now is the time.
Seems to make sense.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of which, Angel Hernandez surprisingly announced yesterday that he would be retiring. Well, actually, it was announced for him that he'd be retiring.
That's the best part.
Effective
It was announced
immediately.
for him.
Interesting. So let me give you a little background here. Angel Hernandez is probably the most famous umpire that we have right now.
Now that Cowboy Joe West is out of the game.
That's right. And Jim Joyce is no longer umping either.
I took that game away from him.
Yep. He had that one moment, and that was kind of it. Or Don Denkinger is no longer with us. So Angel Hernandez is probably the most famous guy we have at this point. Let me tell you a little something about Angel Hernandez, right? Angel Hernandez umped in Major League Baseball starting in 1991. He's been a Major League umpire longer than I have been alive on planet Earth. And every single generation of players that come through say, this guy sucks. This guy is not good. And you guys should either remove him or stop him from getting these important games or stop him from getting games altogether. This has happened not just now. We like to think it's just now because this is one of the things that we as like a generation of people do. Like we pretend that things that happened 20 years ago didn't actually exist. I'm probably guilty of it sometimes. Certainly we have recency bias and things like that. But make no mistake, Angel Hernandez has been bad at this for as long as he has been a Major League umpire. How he got to this point, I have no idea. But I frankly think that it's impressive that Angel Hernandez was in Major League Baseball for more than 30 years, all the while being horrible at his job. And
this is not opinion.
Yes, correct.
We've reached unanimity on this.
Nice. Good job.
I don't know if that's a word.
And not only was he bad at his job, he was also involved in several controversial incidents that were like on the peripheral of actual baseball. And he's had some terrible like moments, in big moments too. Like maybe you can go under the radar just being a bad umpire for all that time, as long as it's not in too noteworthy of a spot. He has also not checked that box. He's had some bad calls in noteworthy spots.
He has an incidents section of his Wikipedia page that is 7 paragraphs long.
I just think it's impressive that he was so bad for that long. And this is not like people think I'm bad. All right. I'm bad, but I'm also not Stephen A. Smith. Like you could think I'm bad, but I don't hold the top spot in sports, right? Like I'm not in the major leagues. I try to approach it every day like I am in the major leagues, Josh, but I'm not in the major leagues. And so there's a certain amount of job security that comes with that. I probably am not going to be replaced. Maybe I shouldn't speak before these things come to fruition, but you know, like I'm doing fine, and we're going to keep it up.
Confidence.
Our ratings are good. We are doing fine.
You hear that, everybody? Our ratings are good.
They are proportionately normal. All right, but I'm not in the major leagues. Angel Hernandez was bad at his job for 30 plus years, according to everybody, and was in the major leagues. There are people who could have replaced him at every single turn, whether it's in a 5-year period, a 1-year period, after he makes a bad call, after Kyle Schwarber throws his helmet at him, like whatever it might have been. There have been many people who have been capable of replacing Angel Hernandez throughout this time. Because why, Josh? He's in the big leagues. If you hit 100 for a year in the big leagues, you're going to get replaced. You're probably not going to be back the next year. If you hit 100 for 2 years straight, there's no chance that you survive the third. If you somehow hit 100 for 30 years, it's the most impressive feat of all time. So today, I'd like to congratulate Angel Hernandez on his long run in Major League Baseball of somehow being the worst umpire for many generations of baseball players. Hats off to you, Angel. What a run.
Congrats. We now need, because this is an immediate retirement.
Yes.
We need to appoint, baseball's lost John Sterling and Angel Hernandez this season, by the way. And it's Memorial Day yesterday. We need to now appoint a new worst umpire in Major League Baseball, and I don't have a name. I don't have a candidate. I don't have a short list.
Oh, I think you could, you could come up with some. You've heard of umpires, but you've heard of some of these.
There's a few that if I heard the name, I would go, oh yeah, that guy sucks.
Have you ever heard of CB Buckner?
Yep, that guy sucks.
Yeah. He's next. Now, he is not nearly as bad as Angel Hernandez. But now, unfortunately, we're going to have to pay attention to CB Buckner all the time to see what bad things he does.
I have what I think will be viewed as a hot take.
Laz Diaz, that's a good one too, by the way, Kenneth.
You need Angel Hernandez. You want
Angel
Hernandez because we're going to go to Connor, it's going to happen. We're going to go to robo-umps at some
I have things to say about this.
At some point.
I have things to say
and
about
you're
this.
going to long for the human element. You're going to long.
No.
You're going to long
This is
for an Angel Hernandez to yell at because your team didn't get a hit in the 9th inning.
Okay, now, Josh, there's a difference between the human element and the angel element. These are two different things. What Angel Hernandez provides us is a level of human error that is probably pretty unacceptable. I love human error. Josh, you're playing in my emotions right now.
I am.
I love it. We're going to talk about robo-umps in the next segment when we get to MLB reaction overreaction.
Ooh.
But what Angel Hernandez provided us with for many, many years, for decades, is greater than the human error, in my opinion. So do not play with my emotions that way. Do not try and get me to say we need robo-umps or we need Angel Hernandez. It has to be one or the other. No, nobody has been as bad at his job at Angel Hernandez and stayed employed for 30 years at the major league level. It's impressive.
Well, when you come from Cuba, you can hold that over.
Oh, that has been
the
held.
entire sport.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Laz Diaz does not have that in his bag. Now, CB Buckner does. He was born in Jamaica. So he can do the you don't want to fire me because I'm terrible card, which I don't think CB Buckner would.
We don't need that kind of heel. No. Now, we get this from the 402.
Hi, 402.
I dislike Angel a ton, but it's bittersweet that we are losing our heel in Major League Baseball.
That's right.
Umpires generally are always the heel.
Yeah, just wearing that uniform.
And there's nobody who you know about that is a good umpire.
That's right.
Right? But you've heard of these guys that have been around for a long time, and they will inevitably take the place of Angel Hernandez. Will it be as bad? Of course not. It could never be as bad as Angel Hernandez was. I've enjoyed all the videos of the audits that I've seen this weekend after Angel Hernandez's retirement. And I wish him good luck. And I frankly think that he should, sit back and have a cigar with Cowboy Joe.
Oh yeah.
Hop on the album. Did he die?
Did Joe West die?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so. If he did, I missed it, which is entirely possible.
He is not dead. So that's good.
Great.
Hopefully he could still make another country album, and maybe Angel Hernandez can hop on the track.
What if they went on tour together?
That would be awesome. But a salute to you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Angel Hernandez. Mm-hmm. Aaron writes in on the text line.
Hi, Aaron.
Yes, Connor, but over 30 years, he makes more correct calls than most umpires. Just like the guy hitting 100 for 30 years probably has a decent amount of hits. Angel Hernandez probably. Thank you, Angel Hernandez, for texting into the show. Appreciate that.
I have a scorecard from Angel Hernandez on May 9th.
That was his last game. He has not umped in 3 weeks.
Overall accuracy, 92%. Overall consistency, 94%.
He's like Jeff Sims. He catches most of the snaps.
He got 5 balls wrong and 4 strikes wrong. So we got 9 pitches wrong. Minus 1.1% expected relative accuracy.
Do you feel bad? So Chris writes in, we've spent a lot of time on Angel Hernandez here. I like this. Chris writes in on Twitter. There will be no missing Angel Hernandez. Absolutely none. He's terrible, and I'm truly happy to see him go. Do you at all feel bad for a human man, Angel Hernandez, who just so happens to be just awful at his job? Do you at all feel bad? Do you at all feel like, all right, he's retiring, we should just let it go rather than pile on, happy to see you go, rotten hell, Because Angel Hernandez held the sport hostage so he could continue to work. That's it.
That is why I do not like him, and I don't wish death upon him, but I do not wish him well.
I imagine that it's been very difficult for his family to be the family of Angel Hernandez.
Yeah.
But like you said, he kind of held baseball hostage for a while.
And he got a settlement yesterday and said, okay, I will leave now. Thank you.
Coming up next, there will be a topic about robot umpires in MLB Reaction Overreaction.
Love it.
Let's do that when we return. More of the Connor Happer Show coming at you on 1620 The Zone.
Have you ever wanted to be wrong for a living? Sure, you could be a weatherman, a politician, or a sports radio host. But why not try the glamorous world of umpiring? At the Angel Hernandez School of Umpiring, you'll be given the tools of the trade by the sport's 57th most tenured umpire of all time. Strike? Ball? Who gives a shit as long as you're the star of the show? The fans in the 300 section won't know it's a strikeout unless you do an over-the-top animated strike 3 call. And if anyone gives you lip, well, that's the best part. Due to the antiquated, unwritten rules of a horribly archaic sport, you're judge, jury, and executioner. Throw that guy out on his ass. If anyone tells you you're out of line, run them off too. The Angel Hernandez School of Umpiring. Everyone needs an angel watching out for them.